Hi everyone! Today we are reviewing the new book from Hanna Karlzon. It's Halloween, and I'm so excited for this one because, as you all know, I love everything Halloween, gothic, horror, anything like that is my jam. And Hanna is of course one of the most popular and incredibly talented artists that we have here in the colouring community. And I'm just so excited for this sort of meeting of minds of the Halloween and the Hanna. So let's get straight into it. It's the same size, shape and format as her previous recent books. So think of Tales from the Witch's Cottage rather than her, older books that were done with a different publisher, things like Daydreams, Magical Dawn. This is a smaller, more compact format. So that's what you can compare it to, her most recent books. So we have a beautiful mossy green and burnt orange matte cover with some gold foiling highlights to the letters. And there's the back. Obviously this is not the English version, but that's okay because who cares? when it's colouring illustrations, you don't really need to have it in your own language, if you know what I mean. I'm sure this will be brought out in English at some point, but I quite like having the originals. So here's the cover, the title page. You've got a cute little Halloween pumpkin to colour there. And then we have got the nameplate page, which is a zombified undead hand bursting from the ground. So you can put your name on this little tombstone. And here is the beginning of the illustrations. So we have this vampiric lady here. She's got bats. Well, she's got bat wings coming out of her head. And then she's got a bat friend down here as well. Really oldie worldy kind of dress, which you'd expect from this sort of era of vampires and Dracula. Then we've got some really cute little haunted houses. Now there's a couple of pages like this across the book, and I really like them because it enables you to do a little bit of colouring and yet still complete something in a short amount of time. And also you can be really creative with it and colour your houses in completely different palettes, in completely different ways, with different media. You could maybe do one a day, and post it to your socials and make it like a series. That's what I'm thinking of doing. And yeah, they're all completely different, very quirky haunted houses with ghosts and cats and bats and all that fun stuff. This one's really interesting because it's like ghosts and ghouls made from, I would imagine this to be coloured like ectoplasm. So like you'd see on the Ghostbusters, the green slime. And you can see there's one character here that's head is detached from its body, but he's holding a pumpkin head and he kind of tapers off into a little tail. We've got another ghosty ghoul here and a skeletal one and some little cute ghosts breaking it up as well. So I'd be interested to know how people decide to tackle this page because it's very drippy and you could go blood, you could go green slime, you could do anything you wanted. So I'm eager to see how people colour this one. Then this is definitely, you can tell Hanna's work straight away when you look at an illustration. She's got such a unique style. And this is definitely a Hanna illustration. So we've got the female portrait, she usually concentrates on females. And it's this witch with a witchy autumnal hat holding onto her pet cat with a lovely patchwork layered dress and some clusters of pumpkins at the corner of this arch. The paper is really thick, by the way. It's the same paper she's used on the last few books. It's ivory in tone, so it's not bright, stark white. And yeah, it's really nice and thick, and it should take water-based media okay, as long as you don't, layer on a lot of water. I have used water later in the book, so you'll see what I mean. So this little scene is a teapot, teacup, and lantern. And we've got ghosties coming out of the teapot. There's toadstools on there, little tiny ghosties in the teacup as well. Really nice. Obviously, practicing those light sources from here will be good. Or you could make this into green flame or purple flame and practice that glow around it as well. Then we've got a bit more of a mandala style illustration. So this one is skulls, pumpkins and leaves. This one is a really fun page. It's lots of different spooky elements composed. On the page, we've got bloody soda, we've got pumpkin pop, There are some ghosty chips and bug juice, a little ghost lolly, and some boo candy as well. So this is very Halloween, you know, you've got the trick-or-treaters here and you've got the Halloween candy. So these trick-or-treaters are Scarecrow, and you can see this one's taken her head off. This one is just full of all the bits of hay and things that you would stuff a Scarecrow with, but obviously they are alive and going out to do some magic and mischief. This is a skeleton key with the crossbones tied on here and a big chain and padlock as well. This is obviously one that doesn't take up too much space on the paper. You've got lots of blank areas to create whatever background you want to create. And then this one is completely different in that there's so much little tiny detail. So there is a variation throughout this book. There's something for everybody and there's something for however you're feeling at that time. So this is like a little Welsh dresser. It's full of potions and lotions. We've got little Kitty asleep up here, little skull, some crystals, and something dripping out. I guess it's a potion. I don't know what it's going to do to these flowers though. Maybe they're going to turn into triffids, who knows. This is a double page spread and it is again trick-or-treaters, definitely earthly trick-or-treaters this time rather than the pumpkin people. And yeah, so we've got bats and little pumpkin. Look at this pumpkin costume, it's so cute. It really reminds me of my son. He had a costume just like this when he was about 3 for Halloween. It was his first sort of proper Halloween where he was going out and he knew what it was and knew what, you know, to go and knock on the doors, and we'd stand at the bottom of the garden, you know, like you do when you're a parent. You just sort of hide in the bush, don't you, and let your kid go to the door. Yeah, it's so sweet. And then we've got like a cat. So actually they aren't all humans. We've got a bird here and a cat and another little cat as well, a frog, some little flame ghoulies down here which are really cute, and they're holding this skull bunting as well. So great double page spread. Can you get into the spine to colour it? Just about, yes. You might have to do a little bit of manipulation there, but you can get into the spine, so that's good. This one is awesome. So again, it's a pumpkin head girl, but it's set in this cameo brooch kind of style. Again, with the oldie worldy clothing, the ruffles. Yeah, awesome. Can't wait to colour that one. This is a dangly one, again, with all of the blank space for you to draw. You could draw something in the background if you're, you know, supremely talented, not like me. Or you could just create a blurred sort of foresty background of, you know, greens and that kind of stuff, just to make it look a little bit blurred background, in focus, foreground. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. So these are like little trinkets, little bells hanging up in the trees. Then we've got some crystals. It's quite self-explanatory, this one. And a pumpkin house. So there had to be a pumpkin house, didn't there? I know we got one from Joanna in one of her books. I can't remember which book. Might be Magical Worlds. I think it was Magical Worlds. But yeah, who doesn't love a pumpkin house? And this one you're getting 2 for 1. So lots of mushrooms and flowers and all that kind of good stuff. Then we have a basket of foraged items. So we've got flowers, again, mushrooms, and it's again giving you the chance to maybe work on some texture. So you could create like a wicker basket texture or a wooden texture. Then we have the bat carrying the lantern. We've got some flying frogs as well. So the lantern is actually a real candle, so that you can colour this quite realistically with the drips and everything. Again, I'd be interested to see how people tackle a light source like this. So we've got another girl here. She looks very symmetrical. I can almost imagine Hannah drawing half of this face and the other face is exactly the same, because it just really is like perfectly symmetrical. She kind of looks a little bit clowny. I've got a clown vibe coming from this collar and, you know, the buttons and stuff. Love the pumpkin earrings. I really want to get me some of them. If you know where I can get these from, let me know. But I also love the bunches in her hair that have these cute little pumpkin hairbands in there as well. Then we've got the 2-headed raven. I'm sure it used to be the 2-eyed raven, but that can't be right, can it? Because all ravens have 2 eyes. Yeah, the 2-headed raven, carrying some lotions and potions. And again, you know, very, very distinctive Hannah when you've got mushrooms kind of growing out of someone's skin or from someone's fur, feathers, wings. So we've got another one of these pages with 9 distinct little, you know, pieces of their own. These are all pumpkins, all completely different styles. This one's like a Frankenstein pumpkin. This one's a bit of a goofy pumpkin. Yeah, very, very cute, easy, quick colouring. And then here's another trick-or-treater, I'm guessing. This one is a devilish one. So you can see we've got the tail and the horns, and she's holding a huge matchstick that has some ghoulies within the flame. Really creepy flowers with eyes in them. Can you imagine walking down, you know, through the forest or going on a hike and seeing these kind of flowers just staring at you, the eyes moving on you as you walk past? How freaky. This is one that I was going to do as my first one from this book because I adore it. So it's a little shop, a little kind of stand or stall with a magical frog selling all sorts of witchy items. So obviously you've got all your potions and things like that. There's lots of pumpkins. I mean, this book is Halloween. It's full of pumpkins. So, you know, if that's what you're after, then you are definitely going to enjoy this book. Here we have what could be a double page spread because it's all the same subject matter, but you could, you know, do one side completely different colours to the other side. Keep it as its own page. It's up to you. But again, it's like lots of potion bottles. We've got what looks like a mandrake in here. Candles with that drippy wax. This candlestick has a bird foot, so like a claw foot. And we've got little ones here as well. This one's just got a spider web in it. So silvers, metallic, I'm thinking for this one. And again here, just more of the same. Beautiful back candlestick. I want one of these. I wonder if you can get them in TK Maxx. That seems like the best place to look. So we have another girl here. She looks very similar to a previous girl that we had. And maybe it is. Maybe this is like a storybook and it's the same characters. So again, she's just in all of her beautiful dress with her trick-or-treat jar ready to go and get some candy. Again, lots of ghoulies and pumpkins. So here we have a death head moth. Absolutely love these. Silence of the Lambs, big fan. That's everything I think of when I see a death head moth. That's really difficult to say quite quickly. Death head moth, death head moth. Yeah, he's got a spider web between his little antennae and some spider webs dripping down as well. And here's the spider. This one was interesting because it's an outline illustration, which I don't normally see from Hannah. So I'm kind of curious to know how to colour this. Maybe you could do all of the lines like neon and then try and do a realistic cat fur texture inside. I don't know, there's quite a few ways you could play this. Maybe you could do some pattern within the lines. What do you think? Let me know. This again is another one that I really wanted to colour first, but it just came down to which one I had to choose at the end of the day. Haunted house, a big one this time. So we had all the little practice haunted houses. Now we've got a big one with the moon in the background, little demon in the window, cute little ghost at the door, and the keep out sign. Really love it. So this is very Hannah as well, this kind of ice cream dessert whipped style illustration. And this one is of course a Halloween themed one. So we've got skulls, ghosties, and lots of dripping stuff coming out. What colour is it going to be? It's up to you. This is like an anthropomorphic, oh, I said that in one go, illustration. So you've got the fox and the bird both doing some trick-or-treating. And then we have a really creepy sort of Frankenstein looking lady. Is it a lady? Is it a man? I don't think it really matters. It's got quite a masculine or sort of androgynous looking face. Well, have I swallowed a dictionary today? Because everything I'm thinking is actually coming out my mouth and I'm saying it properly. Yeah, again, tons of pumpkins and skulls. Love that. Then we've got some more realistic looking toadstools and fungus in this circular frame. Here's another mandala. So I love doing mandalas when I'm feeling really anxious. I don't know what it is. I don't really colour mandalas at any other time. It's not something I'm interested in colouring unless I'm feeling anxious, and then that's all I want to colour is mandalas because it's just filling the gaps basically. Now, of course, you can do other techniques within a mandala and you can make it as complicated as you want to, but for me, when I'm feeling really het up and really, you know, I'm sat there literally shoving my nails into my hand, I'm that kind of worked up, colouring a mandala really calms me down. Maybe this one not so much, because there is a lot of different items on it. I think mandalas for me when I'm anxious have to be just pattern. But yeah, really nice. Again, I'm excited to see how somebody does this. I think what would look really cool is to do like a watercolour wash background and then redraw these lines in white pen. So completely go over it with watercolour, redraw the lines in white pen so it really stands up. I think I did something like that on a live video. What was it called? It was like Galaxy line something, I don't know, but that's what I picture for this. So this is more of a full scene on this page if you've got a bit more time to colour or you want to get into something a bit more complex. We've got a girl walking through the woods with her lantern, some ghoulies and ghosties following behind, and again, the really creepy gnarled trees and things like that. We have then got a snow globe with a raven sat on the tombstones. It's very ornate, it's very Dracula, it's very sort of Victorian and that kind of thing. Really like this one, very nice, unique idea. Love this one as well. This one I feel like is one of the illustrations in the book that would have took a lot of time to plan and draw. It's again very unique. So you've got this kind of curtained stage setting, and then you've got the clowns or the jesters on the stage ready to perform. Something very creepy about a jester. I think it's probably since The Wicker Man, seeing that, you know, the original, not the Nicolas Cage, please, no. I love Nick Cage, but no. That just makes jesters really creepy for me, especially when they look a bit kind of pointed and like Punch and Judy sort of look. But anyway, I'm going off a tangent there. Love it anyway. We've got the witch with the cauldron, had to happen. The witch with her clawed fingers and eyeballs and skulls and all sorts of gross stuff in the cauldron. This girl actually reminds me of a girl that I coloured from a previous Hanna book that was, I believe, over a cauldron as well. So yeah, Hannah's kind of, you can tell it's her all the way through. You've got this thread of her books all the way through, and she's just changing things up to fit the theme, you know. So then we've got a couple of skulls with some candles grouped on top, all dripping down. Again, light source. Yeah, I think I love doing a light source, but it takes time. You know, I want to think about where light is hitting and where the shadows are and stuff. And I think I'd need to just spend a little bit more time on an illustration like this. Then we have a bat holding onto a skull. This is a really cool bat, by the way. Look at the wings. They're like shredded at the bottom with the moon in the background. And he's got a snake kind of devilish tongue as well. Here we have another illustration that I absolutely love because it's a house, it's a building, but it's kind of horrified a little bit. It's a magic shop. There's ghosts in the windows, lotions and potions, and, you know, all of the little foliage and stuff outside. We've got spells, love potions, love it. Can't wait to see it coloured, can't wait to colour it myself. Now you may notice there is a slight bit of buckling on here. Let's see if I can show you, if I just stand it up. The page is slightly warped and buckled, and this is where I have used the water media on the paper. So I used Neo colours for the background of this. I got several different browns and ochres, scribbled them all over the page and gave it one layer of water over the top. Now if I wanted this to look more solid, more opaque, I could have just kept layering, but I really wanted this kind of shabby, oldie, rotten kind of style, you know, where the wallpaper was peeling and you'd have all the gross sort of stuff underneath and stuff like that. I wanted to create a gross kind of look to the wall, and hopefully I've achieved that. So what I did was I coloured in all of the little pictures first, then I did the background, and then I did all of the metallic paintwork. So the majority of this metallic paintwork, if I show you in the light, everything that's showing up incredibly well, like the red, the blue and the gold, is all KJ Design by Karen paints, and they're her new ones. These are the chrome paints. Oh my gosh, they are incredible. I did a little short of me painting this page, and everyone was like, where do I get them from? KJ Design by Karen on Etsy. They are stunning, absolutely stunning. I mean, this just shows you, doesn't it? This is one layer. You don't even have to do 2 layers. It's like, it just comes out ready to go. And I absolutely love the blue. I love the gold, but the red the red steals the show. Now, the red that I've got on here, I've got the blue KJ on here, right? But the red that I've got is the Star Sparks by Karen. So the gel pens by Karen. And if you just compare the red to Karen's red, there is a world of difference there. You can just tell. If I was gonna colour something metallic before I got to know of Karen's paints, it would have been these kind of glitter gel pens. And you can just see the vast difference between the payoff that you're getting. So yeah, I think for me in the future, anything metallic is going to be done with Karen's paints. There is a place for gel pens. Obviously this is very fine detail and I wanted to get in there with a pen rather than paint, but yeah, I think I'm going to stick with those because they're absolutely fantastic. I'll just give you one last look at the shine. Okay, here we've got a creepy looking werewolf and he's got some earrings in, so he's actually quite a cool dude. And he's also got some strings of pearls with little skull charms attached. We've got another double page spread. Again, lots of room in the background for you to fill in with, I don't know, galaxy, stars, anything really. Or you don't have to do it at all. It's up to you. I think a page always looks finished when there's a background on it, but I don't always do them. I find them a little bit scary sometimes, even now after 10 years. So yeah, anyway, it's Witch on the Broomstick with a little cat at the top of the broom there, little lantern, lots of bats flying around, lots of stars, and all this ribbon as well. And then again, this is very Hanna Karlzon-esque, the cat surrounded by the toadstools. And these are all little candles as well, if you look. Lots of little ghosties in there. This one's really fun because look, it's so simple and basic to look at, but it's so effective. It's a ghost, which, you know, normally you would see someone put a sheet over the head, cut 2 eyes out, and they're a ghost for Halloween. This one is a little bit more than that because you've got all of these different layers, and it's like a ghost that's been built by patchwork, which is really cool. Then we've got another one of these pages with 9 different items. So these are potion bottles or specimen bottles. We've got a pumpkin, the skull and crossbones, that's like a poison bottle. We've even got some teeth, which is really creepy. Eyeball, snake. Yeah, so again, just little ones, little vignettes that you can do when you've got a little bit of time. Then we've got another very Hanna Karlzon style page, which is the 2 faces facing each other. And we've also got 2 cats facing each other as well. So there are a lot of sort of recurring items within this book. Obviously, you've got loads of ghosts, loads of toadstools, loads of pumpkins. But it's called a Halloween book. I mean, what do you expect? Here we've got a little cluster of pumpkins as well. Again, all little pumpkin houses with lots of bugs and beetles and a little frog, little magical frog here. And then we've got some skull skeletons of different animals. One's got toadstools growing out, one's got the creepy eye flowers, another one with toadstools. And then we've got this is quite Johanna Basford-esque, so lots of different little elements scattered on the page. Now I have had a look at these and I believe that every single one of the items is individually drawn. There's not any copies on here of anything. Even the little ghosts are all quite different to each other. Where's a ghost? I've gone blind. Here we go. They're all different to each other, you know. Same with the pumpkins, the headstone. We've even got a little cute mummy there. And then we have a portrait of a witch. So she's got the witch's hat on. She's got a pumpkin earring. Still want to know where you can get those from. And they look like sunflowers, you know, in this book. But would they be? I don't know. Well, how would you colour them? Let me know. Love this one. It really reminds me of the American Gothic painting, even though I know he's not like holding an axe and everything, but it's because it's the couple stood together facing us, and they're very creepy looking. So yeah, skeletal bride and groom. Then we've got a circular motif made out of a branch, which looks like an oak tree branch, with a wreath of pumpkins all around. So you can imagine hanging this on your front door in the fall or autumn season. This one is jam-packed full of toadstools and ghosty ghoulies, again with the death head moths. Yeah, but this is, you know, it's absolutely jam-packed with detail. This is really cool as well. We've got the cat sat on the moon, which we've seen in quite a few different colouring books. It's not an original idea, but look at the moon. It's so freaky. Like, Hanna Karlzon has creepified the crescent moon, definitely. This really reminds me of Magical Dawn. You know, you've got these perfume or potion bottles, Hocus Pocus it says, and then the cocktail sparkling with magic next to it. And then this quite reminds me of like a constellation or a zodiac sign, you know. It's almost, it gives that impression. So it's like the two wolves, like the yin and yang, kind of, in a way. I don't know, am I speaking rubbish? Probably. And then finally we've got the broken love heart with the two skulls either side. So that's the end of the book. I hope you've enjoyed looking at it. I absolutely love it because not only is it Hannah's work, it is all about Halloween and I'm just here for it. So I can't wait for the Halloween season. Can't wait for the leaves to start falling and crunching underfoot and having to have a hot water bottle at the bottom of your back, you know, cozy under a blanket. I'm ready. So thank you so much for watching. I'll put a link in the description of where I bought it from, which is iMusic. And yeah, let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon on Colour with Claire.